Hi everyone, it's me, Eva Gilbert. I am doing this quick video about the time that I started medication. Okay. And so as you know, I'm doing kind of like a series about my story and my life. And so I wanted to share today about the time I started medication. Now, as I said in the past, my mother was an addict. It's something that I didn't know until later in life. She didn't really start abusing medication and things like that until like my late teens. So for me, medication was like this big taboo thing. Don't use medication. Don't see it. Don't have like the crutch, right? Or I don't need medication. I should be able to tough things out and get through things, right? Okay, wrong. Absolutely freaking wrong. Uh, I regret not starting medication sooner. Absolutely. Absolutely regret it. Maybe my life would have been a little less stressful. Maybe I would have been able to get through some of the things I got through without drinking. Yes, I said it. I used alcohol to suppress my feelings. Yes, I did. Especially this one time where I was really going through it, which probably could have been a lot of points in my life, you're thinking, but anyways, I digress. I did struggle a little bit with alcohol, not a lot. I didn't really binge drink, but I did find that sometimes when I was stressed, that I could drink a glass of wine and I would feel better. This realization led me to think maybe there's a better way. Maybe there's something else that I should be doing. I did seek counseling. I have seen a counselor on and off for many years because, 17, mom showed up, Amador, 17, 18, homeless, you know, that kind of thing, brother, schizophrenic. Yeah, a lot of reasons to be stressed. My major support system was myself. And then, you know, I was trying to like still be the person that I wanted to be, which was a teacher, which was, a good wife, just have a good life. But it just always seemed like the world was like fighting against me. It didn't want me to, like it wanted me to freaking give up. Um, and so I did a lot of times want to give up. I never did because I told myself that's what my mom does. My mom always gave up. She would start something, not finish it, start something, not finish it, start something, not finish it again. She'd start a book, she'd start a project, she would go to school, start and stop school a lot. Even with me. So I just was like, I'm not going to be that person. I learned from my mom's mistakes. I learned from that I could just, if I put my mind to it, I could do anything. Did I have to do everything right then and there? No, but I knew I could do it at some point, somehow. So I did. That's how I got through having a child, at 18 years old and finishing college. And, of course I had some supports, but at the times that I really wanted to give up, I didn't because I told myself that I couldn't. There was no other option. I had to finish this. But was I happy? Heck no. I was miserable. I was crying all the freaking time. I wanted to hurt myself. I wanted to die. And I just didn't because I didn't want to do that to anybody because that's horrible, right? Like I said, I already had to live with enough like mental health issues with my mother that I never wanted to do that to anybody else. I did not want to repeat that or perpetuate that into the world. But I was sitting on the toilet one time just crying, telling my husband like, I don't know why I'm so sad, but I am. So I just told myself like, I gotta stick it out. I gotta just, but at some point you say, is this all that life is sticking it out, is trying to make it through? Is there a better way? Yes. It's called medication. Okay, now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the kind, the like, the kind that makes you into a zombie, the kind that this is gonna make you high. No, 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 no. Okay, there's another kind. I personally take Zoloft and I love it. When I started taking Zoloft, it's like a cloud lifted. It's like I was literally living in a cloud, in a fog. And I don't mean foggy as in like, you're spaced out or like you can't see clearly. No, I lived in a fog of like stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety to where my body hurt because it never knew when the next thing was going to happen. Even if I was like, Eva, today's a great day. You're having a good day. Heck yes, everything's going right. My body was so used to being on edge. Again, had a very stressful life. My body was so used to being on edge that it just constantly stayed on edge. Okay? It's like my body thought there was a cheetah constantly chasing after it. And there was no cheetah there. Okay? That fight or flight just was constantly on for me after a while. It wasn't always like that. I wasn't like that as a child. But, life can kind of start this cycle and it keeps going and it keeps going. Now, when I finally opened up to my doctor about it and told him and started to advocate for myself, like I started on Zoloft. She started me off a little low, went up higher, and I really started to feel better. I felt like I could handle every day. I felt like I could wake up in the morning and not already be miserable. Zoloft is what's called an SSRI. So it basically like ups your dopamine levels, your hormones. It's like one of those pills or one of those things that builds up in your system. It isn't like a, bam, right now kind of medication. There are medications that are bam right now that help you. Like if you're having a panic attack, you might want to take a Xanax. I know that's a big drug right now, and it did not help my mother. If you have addiction issues, you do not want to take something like Xanax. They're addictive. Anything with addictive properties is a no-no, right? Like I said, Zoloft, not addictive. It builds up in your system and then helps you to feel better by connecting those things in your brain that you might be lacking. You don't have a lot of. There's a lot of other ones that are very similar. You've got Wellbutrin. I don't even remember the other ones. But non-addictive, so helpful to my daily life. Even my husband, he noticed a huge improvement in my happiness, my ability to manage tasks, weren't as overwhelming. And I don't want to say rarely drink. Okay, I maybe drink occasionally now. Maybe once a week I'll have a glass of wine. Whereas before, it was like I needed it sometimes to get through a really tough day. Or by the end of the day, I was so frazzled that I would need something to help calm me down. And of course, I have a stressful job, I have a stressful life, and all of those things. And I do other things to manage it. But please do not think that there's not help out there for you and that medication is a bad thing. Like, why? Why would it, if you had diabetes, would you take your insulin? Yeah. If you had a headache, would you take Tylenol? Yeah. Okay. If you stubbed your toe, would you put a Band-Aid on it? If so, then why is taking medication for your mental health a bad thing? Okay? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Been the number one thing that I not only have like come to realize, but I notice a lot of people don't understand. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And I'm not talking about God. That's a whole nother issue. I'm not talking about spirituality, but a lot of times I work with kids with special needs. And just because, you can't see the fact that they're disabled because they don't have like, an obvious symptom doesn't mean it's not there. Like mental health. If you believe that you can be hit in your head and you lose your eyesight, why is it that it's harder for us to believe that we could be born with something that we can't see, that's going on in our brain that would cause something to go haywire? Our body does weird things, So just remember, take care of yourself. Remember that mental health is, all encompassing. It's a whole process. Yes, talk to people. If church helps you, go to church. If it doesn't help you, don't go to church. Personally, it's not always been helpful for me. Sometimes it's hurt. I remember sitting in church crying my eyes out. Okay, it was not a good place for me at that time. Sometimes we have to take a step back, set boundaries with people, set boundaries with places. Okay, talk to our doctor. Don't worry or care what people think. And that's why I'm sharing this video with you today, because it is okay to say, I think I need the medication. I think I need some help, right? I will never ever regret the fact that I started Zoloft. Now, I will say I am finally going down on my medication level, which has been amazing because it's taken me a couple years. I think I started 3 years after my mom died. Or no, 3 years ago. A year after my mom died, probably a year after. And it's just been really great to say that I've had that help, and now I'm going down on my medication and I feel good. I actually even feel better than when it was higher. So my hope is that, I can maybe get off of it soon, or in the next year or two, but I know that I have other supports there for me. Healthy coping skills, healthy coping mechanisms. That's what's important, okay? Take care of yourself. All right, guys. That's my little when I started Zoloft, when I started medication video for today. Love you guys.